Okay, welcome to the Board of Park Commissioners. 16, please call the roll.
Mr. Cappers.
Here.
Mr. Fox.
Here.
Mrs. Pierce. Here. All members are present.
Thank you. We have our minutes of our October 4th meeting. It was a joint meeting. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to those minutes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Motion to approve.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? They stand approved. Reports. Mr. Drake, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Do you have anything to add to your written report you've already submitted?
Just a couple things. One, just wanted to update you on the Archer Park restroom project. We are moving forward with that. Now that soccer is ended, we anticipate the utilities will be going in. We're running the sewer and water line and then electric as well, with assistance from our water distribution department and our electrical department as well. So, and then anticipate, depending on how winter goes, construction will be starting shortly thereafter, possibly even this year again. So, then also wanted to add that there is a community pep rally being scheduled for Thursday night at Treasure Island Park. This is collaborative between Troy High School and Troy Christian Schools for the playoff games that both schools will be entering into Friday night. And that starts Thursday at 7 o'clock at Treasure Island.
And they're using some of our facilities, right?
It will be at the amphitheater. Restrooms will be available as well, so we might want to talk about how we proceed with use of the facilities.
We'll need to go ahead and make that approval. The use of the facilities, are they anything more than what the public would be able to use anyway? I guess they're using a PA system.
Yeah, we will be setting up a PA system. Lights are in-house at the amphitheater. Mostly it's just the PA, event parking signs and so forth that we will be putting up.
Okay. I would make a motion to go ahead and approve the use of Treasure Island for the use of the pep rallies for Troy Christian School and Troy High School.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, if you'll pass on the information then. Anything else in your report?
That was it.
Any questions of Mr. Drake?
What is the Trojan Horse football tournament? I see that's coming up in November.
So that some of the organizers of Troy Junior Football several years ago put together a postseason tournament, and it's an open invitation to other teams, area Little League teams, to come in and play. They'll be in from all over, similar to what we do with the soccer tournament for Strawberry Festival.
Okay.
Although it's independent of that, of course, but there'll be a number of different teams in town the weekend of the 11th through the 13th to play in that tournament. They start Friday night and they'll end with the championship game on Sunday afternoon. Those are all at Duke Park.
Do you want to update us on the gazebo near the golf course?
So yeah, I've just got the gazebo donated by the Weavers. Ship date is expected the week of Thanksgiving. So it will either be between Monday and Wednesday of that week or the following Monday, the 28th, I believe it is. So I did get delivery confirmation that it's going to be in that time frame. We expect construction to start shortly thereafter. Delta Concrete Construction is going to be doing the assembly and concrete work there, and we're making plans to do that as soon as the shelter gets here, the gazebo gets here.
Any other questions of Mr. Drake? I have one other item. When we did our annual review of the parks, you indicated that you are helping the street department in taking down dangerous weeds that might be in intersections. Is that right?
Yes, we'll do, as we get complaints that come in, if it's tree or brush related, if they're blocking stop signs or intersections, we will go and help with getting those eradicated.
Okay, I'm going to throw one out there.
Okay.
It's at the bottom of the hill on Wayne Street, down from where the hospital used to be.
Okay,
If you're turning left, you can't see the traffic coming from the right.
okay.
Because
So it's Wayne at Ridge?
Wayne and Ridge.
Okay.
I forget what they call it. It's not forsythia. It's the wild stuff.
Honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle just
Yeah.
goes crazy down there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Drake?
That's all I have.
Mr. Seiler, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you have anything to add to your report, sir?
Just that the renovation project at the arena is coming along. I anticipate that the project will probably be completed sometime in January, so I'm thinking, I think the contractors are really targeting to try to get it done by the end of the calendar year, but I think probably looking sometime in mid-January.
Okay.
So things are starting to take shape, and we can kind of get an idea as to what the end result's going to be. So they're moving along there, and that's really all I have.
Bet you're excited.
I'm excited for it to be done.
And as is Jeremy, probably, to get your other entrance back to
Yeah,
your...
nice to have a building back.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Any questions of Mr. Seiler? Okay, Mr. Green, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Do you have anything to add to your report?
Nothing to add to the report, just as you saw in your packet there, you have the green fees and season passes. Also includes cart fees. And I put our two main competitors comparison there for prices, Homestead and Echo Hills. And and these are new prices for next year too for them.
Okay, good.
They really didn't raise them much. All Echo did was they used to give a discount if you joined before March 1st, and they're just doing away with the discount, just charging a straight fee like we do. As you can see on the passes, they're fairly comparable. We're a little higher on the full adult. They're higher on the full senior. The junior, they're a little bit higher too. So Homestead, same way. Husband and wife were higher than Echo, but lower than Homestead, because Homestead doesn't give a discount for man and wife. They just charge straight individuals, adults. Full senior, they don't have a senior husband and wife Homestead, but as you can see, Echo's a little bit more than we are. The partials, again, fairly close. Probably the biggest difference there that I can see is the partial senior. If you look at that, Homestead doesn't have any, as you can see, other than the partial adult, and they're pretty high. But the partial senior, they charge $6 per round, where we only charge $5. And their reasoning on that is they're already giving them a $50 discount on the base fee, okay, which we do too. Plus, then we give them another added $1 there. So, if there was any place really that we could maybe get another $5,000 and be a reasonable increase, would be there. I think to
So-
change that to $6.
Your recommendation would be the partial senior?
I think I would.
$5 to
They're not going to
$6.
like it, but they're already getting a $50 discount off the base fee. So it's not like they're not getting a better deal.
And I see the base fee's even lower on the board.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Their base fee is lower. Yes.
Well, I'm saying the partial adult is even lower than the other two.
Yes.
So-
Yes. Yeah. But the daily fee is the same.
Yeah. Do you recommend changing any of the other fees?
The juniors, I hate to change those any because we're wanting to encourage them out there as much as possible. We don't sell that many full junior fees. Most of ours are partial anyhow. So I don't think it would be a benefit to raise their fees. And as you see, the green fees were already very comparable to both golf courses. We're higher than Homestead. They're only 18 on the weekdays. On the weekend, on the weekdays, and the weekend they're 21, so we're a little higher than they are on that. We'll be the same as Echo next year. And on the weekday specials, you can see we're still the highest there by $1.
What is that?
That's where they can get 18 holes with a cart before 3 p.m.
Okay, so $26
Yes,
instead
that
of
includes the cart.
32.
So you're right. So we're basically
Okay.
giving them a discount there for riding all 18 holes. And Homestead, they actually give two discounts. They give one on Mondays and Thursdays only for $20 before 1 o'clock Thursdays. And on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, they do it for $25. So they've got two different prices. I don't know if it's because Monday and Thursday is a slower day for them or what, but that's just something they do. But I don't see how we really would want to raise those. I would recommend it just because we're already higher.
Okay, so your suggestion then for 2017 is adopt the fees that we have in the Miami Shores column, except for the partial senior would go from 5 to 6.
I would, yes. That would be my recommendation. And again, mainly because they're already getting a base fee discount, and we would just put this in line with what the adults are paying. The other fee.
So here's one thing I want to just maybe consider on that is how much do those seniors come out and play where they're paying $5? About how many times a year? 15
You mean
times?
total?
Yeah, 15, 30 times, 50 times,
Oh, they're coming out probably about 40.
40 times.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked is you could bump that up $20 and they could be 365 if they were going out approximately 20 times. You
Right.
could get that same money from them and then they're not paying that extra dollar each time they're coming out.
Right.
And maybe that's what they think of is how much do I have to come out every single time I come out to the course versus how much am I paying up front. You'd get half of that
Well, there's no
increase
doubt
you're
they-
trying to get.
Yeah, they would rather have the base fee be higher than the daily fee because they do play more, you know. Either way, I mean, we would make more if we raised the $5 fee in the long run.
Yeah,
Because these guys are going to continue to play. They're not going to let $11 stop them.
Right.
They're playing 40 rounds versus 30 or whatever, you know. And the only reason I considered it, I put it into consideration because of Echo, because they charge the same both ways. So it's not like they can go over there and do the same thing. And they can't go to Homestead again because they don't sell it. So it's not like they have that many options. But, I'm open either way.
ultimately, I don't want to influence your decision. I just want to throw out another option where you could get
Right.
some of that money
Right.
that you're looking for increasing it. And you'll probably get some pushback either way, no matter what you do when
either
you
way,
change the rates.
They're very conscious of price, and there's no doubt. I can go either way with it. Like I say, we would probably make a little more money off of raising the daily fee versus the base fee. Would it be enough, be significant as far as helping our budget? Probably not a lot, because you're not talking about 10 or 20,000, you're talking about a couple thousand, 5,000,
How many partial seniors do you have?
about 140.
What you could do is you could raise the from 5 to 6 and raise $10 on the fee and still be below what Echo Hills has.
Right.
Yeah, there's a million different ways you can play it. Ultimately,
Right.
I feel like you're the expert and you're going to
Well,
make
I
the
mean,
recommendation.
Either way you do it, I'm going to hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, just because of the price, there's no price conscious. Will it drive anybody to go anywhere else? I don't think so. I think the ones that play there all the time are going to continue because they got their groups to play with. There's very few individual seniors. Most of them have a foursome, or they have a group of, 16 to 20 that they play with every week, or 3 times a week, or 2 times a week, whatever it might be. But, it's, either one of those ideas are good. What he says, raising it $10 and $1 on that would give us even a little bit more. We're talking about another $1,400 on top of that.
Well, I'm going to suggest that we increase the partial senior from 345 to 355, and also the partial adult from 395 to 405. I mean, we're still below market.
Right. Yeah, we're still below the other two for that other problem.
and then hold the juniors flat.
Hold the juniors flat,
So 405 on the partial adult?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the fees that you generated, except for the partial adult to 405 for base fee, the partial senior to 355 on a base fee, and that their per round fee go from $5 to $6.
Okay.
Seniors are still getting,
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of it.
still getting a $50
Right.
discount up front.
Right.
So there's a motion and there's a second. Any further discussion?
Skinning a cat a million different ways. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter to me.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. So now you have your rates for 2017.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anything else, Ken?
And that's all I have for you.
Any questions of Mr. Green? Sue, do you have those fees?
Yes, sir, I do, and I will double check it with Ken,
All
though,
right.
just make sure I've got it on the right form for Valerie.
I don't have any planning commission report. Mr. Barrington, do you have anything to address the commission on?
The request for sign.
Right. Yeah,
I do not have anything else.
okay. We do have a request for signage. Mr. Seiler, did you want to address that, or is that something that's out here?
They had sent this along to me I recommended they put together a letter for the park board review. I know in the past that softball parents and baseball parents have requested this on occasion, and I had indicated to them that in the past the park board had approved this in a scenario in which they would put them up and take them down for each game versus the season. Obviously, their preference is to do it for the duration of the season. So that would all obviously be the park board's call, but they just would like the opportunity to be able to sell sponsorship signage to help with raising funds for the program.
Just to let Levi know what we've done in the past, that doesn't mean it's cemented in the future, but what we've done in the past is we've taken a real close look at the commercial use of our park properties. That means advertising. Do we want Pepsi signs all over our parks? Do we want Coke signs all over our parks? When these organizations come to us then and say, can we advertise? We've taken a look at it and said, no, you can't, period. You can use our park system, and we're not going to charge you for it, but at the same time, you can't advertise. Well, it kind of hits them in their pocketbook because they can't then use advertising money to help fund their program. So what we've done in the past, immediate past, is we relented and said, okay, you can put the signage up, you can have the sponsorships, but you need to take them down after your event's over. That's what we've done in the past, and that's what we're being asked here as to whether or not we want to approve signage out at the Market Street property, either for the rest of the season, during the season, or on a per event situation. These properties are primarily used by the softball parents, or in the case of the baseball parents, they're primarily used by the baseball parents. But both those organizations have been told over and over again that they are not their properties. And if the public wanted to come in and use those properties, they can. So anyway, that's my soapbox. What do you guys want to do?
I wouldn't have a problem with them leaving them up at the beginning of the season just for season. The length of the season, it's what, 2 months long approximately, probably April, May is about the season, late March to
March,
early May. So you got 8 weeks, what, 12 home games or so to put them up and take them down every single time. And I don't have a problem with it. If we wanted to talk about what type of signs they are, like are they hard signs, like a hard plastic or wood that you might see out at the Noop complex, or are they the vinyl that are tied down with ropes? If there was any concern with one or the other, doesn't matter to me. But if we wanted to say one or the other, and if also we say if they're up there, obviously it's at their risk versus it's not the risk to the park board if something happens to them, if they're damaged. But I don't have a problem with them leaving them up for 8 weeks.
Mr. Terrington, you seem to be concerned.
Well, yeah, I apologize. It's the first time I've seen this. I guess a couple of questions. Number one, the orientation of these signs, will they be facing out towards the road, or will they be facing in towards the dugouts?
We don't know that, but
So I think that'd be one and the same.
Okay, I've seen it both ways, and you looked at Noop, or you mentioned Noop. Noop has had them facing outside as much as they have inside.
you'd
So
be able
there's
to
a
see
big
these from the
difference.
street, I'm sure.
Well,
Yeah, because they would be facing the field of play, so
Right.
they would be facing the street as well,
Yeah.
because they're facing the same direction.
okay, well, then that would be subject to our sign code, because it is something that becomes a commercial sign, subject to our temporary sign code, which says that they can only have one sign, and it can only be up for 28 days. They would have to get permits, et cetera.
Would they have to get permits every time if we said it needs to be put up and down after your...
They would have to get
One permit.
one permit per season, and then they'd have to just give us a schedule that it's going to be up this weekend, so that's 2 days. You know, we can add it up. It's not a different permit for each incident.
Would it be, you said one sign, so are we talking one, is there a size limit on the sign?
They are, I believe, I'd have to double check, but yes, there is a size limit. And the size limit, I believe, is 4 by 8, something along those lines.
4 by 8 feet.
It's a piece of plywood.
Yes, and we do that because it is a commercial message, and we have to treat them all the same, particularly after the recent Supreme Court case has restricted any flexibility that we have, quite frankly. So we have to treat it like any other commercial sign. It's not a free speech sign, it's a commercial sign. So, any time the sign can be seen either facing outward or in such an orientation that can be seen from the road, it's considered an advertising sign subject to the regulations.
So
I guess
one on the whole fence, the whole outfield fence, or can it
Yeah,
be one?
one on the property.
One on the
Yeah,
entire property.
I mean, that's the property. It's
The property,
It's a
okay.
temporary sign.
I know
I guess the other,
When you go to softball tournaments that they do have sponsors, it's basically the same thing. Most of them have like a banner they put up on the fence for the game and then take it down. So it's,
and that may be, the ones that I've been to have typically been part of complexes, so they've been off the road, and so they're not they're not visible from the right of way. So this is different. I mean, it's on the corner. It's a very visible location, and it is very close to the right of way there. I guess the other question that I've got is, I don't know if we've discussed with the law director the idea that as a public park, somebody is making revenue off of this, and whether or not that affects our recreational immunity, our tax exempt status, anything like that. I don't know.
We can do that.
Pardon me?
No, we can do that.
We probably should.
That question is that the softball parents would be making the money off of it.
That's correct.
Now, would the softball field and baseball field be considered one property?
I would have to check on how that property, what the lines are. I'm not sure if they're two different lots or if they're the same lot.
And there's a fee.
There is a permit fee. I mean, it's what, $25, $50, something like that. But again, that would only be the one time, as long as they kept all incidents within the 28-day period. They wouldn't be paying multiple fees.
So am I understanding it correctly that it's 28 days? It doesn't have to be 28 continuous days. So if it's 28 days over 2 months, they put them up, they take it down. That's only one day. The next game's 3 days
Yes.
later. That's only
Yeah, we will add it up. It can be multiple events, as long as the total doesn't exceed the 28 days.
That's if they put it up and take it down.
yeah. So they
correct.
can't leave it up the entire time.
Okay. So what you're saying is you're suggesting, perhaps, Mr. Terrington, that if we were to approve this, that we would approve it subject to the permit process under the sign code, and that we obtain an opinion that it's permissible from our law director, so that it would be subject to that, our consent would be subject to that as well.
Either that, or we could table it until next month and have a report
When
to
did they
you.
want to do this, Mr. Seiler? Do you know?
Usually during their
Oh, in the
season,
spring.
It'll be in the
Okay.
spring, so.
But they've generally waited until
the day
the week
before.
before the season asks, so that's why they're doing it early.
Well, that's probably smart on them to do that.
Yeah, and they can have time to get sponsors.
Well, then, why don't we table this until next month, and in the meantime, get the opinion of the law director? Is that acceptable? I'll move to table the matter until next
I'll
month.
second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The matter's tabled. And Mrs. Knight, will you put a
Yes, sir.
call into the law director on
I
this
will.
issue?
I'll probably send him an email and copy you in.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you, Mr. Terrington.
I'd guess these are nonprofit, the baseball parents and the softball parents, if that helps with making
Yeah,
money off
yes,
of it.
he would know that, but it's still, I guess it's the revenue generating.
They're still generating revenue, whether it's considered net revenue or gross revenue. It's still, they're making money.
Money off free parks.
Exactly. Okay. Mayor, do you have anything to come before the commission, sir?
Just to say thank you to all you fine folks for what you do every day.
Well, thank you very much, and it's right back at you.
Right at 13.
Thank you.
And Troy Christian.
And I see the astute engineering department back there. Does anybody have anything for us? Mr. Cagley, do you have anything?
Thank you, no.
Any of the commissioners have anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mrs. Knight, you say you have something?
Yes, but this is just a thank you that I should have made in September, because I see the three of you guys sitting here. And every year, we have an employee volunteer picnic, and you all are invited, and, sometimes many of you come. But we can't put this on without the help of a lot of people, including Mr. Davis back there, and Jill, who allows him so much to help. But, there's a lot of things we have to knead and gather when we put on this picnic, which is a lot of fun. And Jeremy, Ken are a big part of providing things and help, and they pitch in and help like crazy. And this year, we had a strange thing happen where the meat delivery was extremely delayed, and thank heaven Ken had some food on hand that we could start cooking before it got there. So, belatedly and publicly to this board, I want to say thank you to all of you, including to you that's being part of the board, because you're here. Thank you so much for helping make this happen. It doesn't just happen easily, and we think people enjoy it. Thank you. That's all.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this meeting lasted 2 minutes, no more longer than it was supposed to.
Because I said thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand